Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about, hands down, the coolest tape effect to exist. The reverse reverb effect. And you guys know me, I love my reverb. I practically put that on everything I track. I put Phil Spector to shame. But you know what? Lately, regular old reverb just ain't cutting it. And just like a junkie to the needle, I needed something more to fix my urges. That is where the reverse reverb effect is going to come in. And just as the name implies, instead of normally following a sound and decaying off, like so. Hi, is that an EV635A in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? It is going to proceed and build up to a sound like so. Hi, I wet the bed last night. And as you can see, this creates a swelling effect. And you sometimes see this effect used in horror movies and sci-fi movies when, you know, they're trying to provoke like an eerie feeling, an unearthly type of candor type of thing. So that is where you often see it. It's not very often you will hear this in music. The method to produce this effect is actually quite rudimentary. You're going to record normally onto your tape machine. You are going to rewind the tape back, flip the tape over, so now you're going to thread it in reverse and play the tape in reverse, and then you are going to apply reverb to your selected track and record that reverb onto a separate track. Then you're going to rewind the tape again, put it in the normal playing direction, and voila, there is your effect. And I have been waiting to use this effect for quite some time because I didn't want to just use to use it. I wanted it to actually make sense in the mix and not be too overbearing for the listener. And finally, I came upon a song that I think it worked perfectly in. And that single is my new song, The Count, coming out today. Holy! Oh my god. That made a gigantic mess. And yep, you guessed it, this video is just an advanced ploy to market my new single. Go listen to it, etc., yada yada yada. And just as a sidebar, you guys have no idea how much BS advertising I save you from in these videos. I get contacted by all these stupid ass companies trying to make me sell VPNs and gold investments and like that. So, you know, just don't take it for granted that all I do is push my music, okay? But seriously, we do need to talk about my new single because the content of the song is actually relevant to the lesson at play here. The content of this song revolves around the story of Dracula by Bram Stoker. Little known novel that came out in the 1890s. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. And just like my song Frankenstein and His Monster, this song is to have two characters, both voiced by me, and I wanted a good way to differentiate Count Dracula from Jonathan Harker. And what better way to differentiate the eerie, uneasy feeling of Count Dracula from the innocent Jonathan Harker with the use of reverse reverb. And when you apply this effect, you have to be careful for two reasons. The first reason is that when you flip your tape over on your multi-track machine, all of your tracks are now going to be numbered in reverse. So track 1 is now going to be track 16, track 2 is now going to be track 15, etc., etc. And it is really easy to make a mistake if you're not being careful on which tracks to arm for recording. You don't want to accidentally record over a really important track because you got your numbers mixed up. So it really helps to draw out a diagram of what each track is and which tracks you want to arm for recording. This way, no mistakes are made. And the second reason is because when you're playing the tape in reverse, it is not exactly easy to time everything. You're obviously listening to the song in reverse. So there's going to be some trial and error here because every time you apply the effect, you have to rewind the tape, flip the tape back over, forward to the point of the song you want to check, and you know, you get the idea. There's a lot of trial and error involved, so you know, just something to keep in mind, and it does take some practice to get the sound that you're finally looking for. Enough yapping, let's hear this effect used in my song. First, let's listen to a part of the dry vocal track. I catch my prey like a spider, no escaping for you. All your letters to me. Now let's listen to it with the reverse reverb applied. All your letters to Now we're gonna add a little regular reverb to that mix. And finally, let's hear the final result in the mix of the song. So I carried this effect for the entirety of the song for Count Dracula's vocals. It is not only until the very end of the song that I apply this effect on Jonathan Harker's character to symbolize him becoming into a vampire. Spoiler alert. Even though that's not canon. And in true Dracula fashion, I went really over top with the production of this song, just as any good adaptation of this work should be. I was really pulling from films such as Nosferatu, or Vampire, or Francis Ford Coppola's version of Dracula. You know, all those movies have in-camera effects used with film cameras, and I basically just wanted to do the same thing but on tape instead of film. So that is exactly what I did. So I really jam-packed this song with vocal effects for that reason, and I'm gonna quickly breeze through a couple examples of the effects I used on this song. And you know, since these videos are always too long, I'm gonna really speed through it, so just kind of keep up, kiddos, okay? So for the intro of the song, I wanted a really grandiose entrance for Count Dracula. And when I recorded the vocal greeting of Count Dracula and I applied that reverse reverb effect, it just really wasn't enough for me. So what I wound up doing was double tracking that intro greeting, but this time for that second track, I sped up my tape machine upon tracking, and then on playback, when I played it at normal speed, that track was now going to be dropped down in tone, like so.
Greetings, Mr. Harker. May you enter freely of your own will.
And then upon mixdown, what I did was I altered the volume of both of these tracks over one another, so each track would have a precedence over the other, and it gave a really spooky, unearthly feeling, perfect for what I wanted for the intro of the song.
May you enter freely of your own will. Tonight may you heed the call to bring it life. Greetings, Mr. Harker. May you enter freely of your own will. Tonight may you heed the call to bring it life.
Bam! Next! Then on another part of the song, I recorded myself on my 1/4-inch machine at 15 inches per second reciting the Our Father prayer. I flipped that tape over so that played in reverse, and then I halved the speed at 7.5 inches per second to give a really creepy sound, and I put that son of a bitch in part of the song. Let's take a listen to that now. On earth as it is in heaven, give us this day our daily bread, never hens it is at not the blue. Boom! Next! Then, on another part of the song, I once again recorded myself on this 1/4-inch machine. On the left channel, I was doing a voice trying to act like Jonathan Harker. On the right channel, I recorded myself doing a Count Dracula type of character, and then I reversed that once again, playing at normal speed, and I put that in the outro of the song so they would play together, giving a really creepy feeling. Let's listen to that now.
No,
Don't
please,
you
please, no,
understand?
no,
You are
please.
the undead.
Oh, no,
You
please,
become
no.
the undead.
Oh, God,
the
please.
undead is what
Please,
you
please.
are.
No,
Not
no,
people
no, no,
of an undead night, flesh, dead night. And lastly, just like the reverse reverb effect that I applied to the vocal track, I also did the same with delay, creating a reverse delay effect for some of the vocal tracks, mainly on the Count Dracula stuff. So let's take a listen to that as well. Boom! Okay, whew! Hopefully you guys kept up. There's actually a few other vocal effects that I use, but I'll let you guys figure that out on your own. So what do you guys think? Coolest effect ever or what? Now, supposedly, Jimmy Page claims to have created this effect when he was in the studio for the Yardbirds for the song 10 Little Indians. That claim is dubious at best. This is a pretty rudimentary effect, and I'm sure some of the early pioneers of tape recording, messed around with this. I'm assuming Joe Meek especially probably did some crap like this in his studio. But regardless, I still think it is a fun effect. And I often have people ask me, Mario, why tape? Why record on tape? And I want to make it clear that it's never because of that tape sound that people talk about. To me, it is about having fun in the studio and the trial and error and the experimentation and, bouncing tape to tape and reversing stuff. To me, that is just so much fun and what home recording should be about, in my opinion. And we often get so caught up in our own heads, especially on the internet with people being so pedantic about saying what's right, what's wrong, etc., etc. And it shouldn't be about that. It should be about having fun. And this type of experimentation in your studio is, without a doubt, one of the funnest things. I know what some of you are thinking, Mario, that's so much work for a simple effect. They have a plugin where you just click a button and it's blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, there is no other feeling in the world after you went through the painstaking process for 30 minutes of playing the tape in reverse and finally playing it in the normal direction and hearing the result in your ears and liking what you hear. It is a great feeling. Trust me, I know a lot about plugins, but plugins. I don't know what that means. Alright, that is it for today's video. Please go listen to my new single, The Count. That is the most advertisement you're going to get in this video. And we got to get this baby on the top 40 radio within a week. So we better start pressing refresh on that streaming service, okay? I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, learned something, a thing or two. Hopefully, I will see you next time. And yeah, that is it. Peace out, boy!